Hey, this is Nicholas with Backyard TARDIS here doing some more adventures in locksmithing. And boy, I've got a real head scratcher here. I had a customer call me out. He's got electronic lock and it's not working, and his override key isn't working either. And what he had thought was that there was something wrong with it. He never used the override key before, so he thought maybe there was some dirt in it or something. So in his mind, he didn't have any WD-40, he didn't have any lock lube or graphite or anything else that would seem like something that most people think of to put in there. So he thought he'd get the garden hose and put the pressure nozzle on it, and he just spray it out and lube it with water. His electronic keypad lock, he would squirt it out and lube it with water. So yeah, I get it open, and he's hoping I'm gonna fix it. Well, he's fried the lock, but really all it needed was new batteries. The batteries were low because I tested them. I pulled them out; they're all low. But yeah, after he did that, like there's corrosion. Like he's just destroyed the electronics of the lock. Um, and I look it up, and lo and behold, this lock was discontinued. Um, you know, back in 2012. So, and you're thinking, well, just replace it with a different lock. What I didn't mention is what this electronic lock is on, because this is not his front door. This gentleman has an electronic lock on his mailbox. Kind of a unique thing, not a standard thing. There's a reason why it didn't stay in business, this company, because this is kind of an odd thing, creating a solution to a problem that, nobody really had. If, it's that much of a hassle to use a key to get your mail, I don't know. That's, there's convenience, but at the same time, there's practicality. And so he was like, well, what do I do? And I said, I looked online. I tried to find them used. Couldn't find them used. I'm like, you get a whole new mailbox. You just get a regular standard mailbox with a keyed lock, because there's no replacement for this. There's no parts for this. There's nothing. But just really, it's like using water to lube an electronic device. It just now we've all had those moments. We've all had those moments. And this was an older gentleman. Um, he's older, but I would not describe him as senile. And I'm sure he's well traveled in life. He knows that he's not been cleaning out his VCR with his garden hose. But we all have those moments. Those moments when we think of, this is how I'll solve it, instead of calling somebody. This is what I'll do, and it proves that I know. It's when you're like, you have car problem, and there's a clear sign that you need to stop the engine smoke, and that you think, the repair shop's 5 miles up the road. I'm just gonna drive there instead of paying to have it towed there, and like that 5 miles like destroys your. Everybody makes these kind of decisions, but when you're somebody who can come in objectively and look at it, at their non-thinking judgment, it's like, whoa, water to lube an electronic lock. Anyways, that's just some adventuring in locksmithing. When it comes to lubes, I will say I don't recommend WD-40. WD-40 dries is kind of a gummy lube, which will eventually collect dust and gum up a lock. The parts are very small. WD-40 is great for anything that you're lubing that's friction-based, but not something that uses little teeny springs like a lock. And I'd also say that graphite, if you don't live in an area where you get tons of snow, or you're on the coast where you have tons of sea air, graphite is like liquid sandpaper, and locks are made out of soft, non-magnetic metal. If you don't have a need for it, putting graphite in it just shortens the lifespan of the lock. Why is it advertised as a lock lube? Because in areas where you get lots of salt buildup and calcium buildup in the lock, areas like the coast, areas like where there's snow and lots of moisture in the air, that happens. But in the majority of everywhere else, it's not a good idea. And so that's why the brand I use is Triflow. There are a number of ones, but it's Teflon based. So it's silicone and Teflon based. So just like spray on Teflon in your pan, you spray it in there. It's penetrating just like WD-40, but when it dries, it is a Teflon coat that repels dust. So just a locksmith tip for you. All right. Hope everybody's having a good day, and I'll catch you in the next video.